All right. Figured do a day in the life. It's a Sunday. I'm 20 days out from the first show. Typical Sunday. It's 4:20. I'd like to sleep in a little bit more, but sleep's been real rough lately. Slept decent last night. Went to bed around 10. Been waking up around 1-ish every night, roughly. Sometimes I'll be up for hours. Other times I can go back to bed. Last night I woke up just for a little bit. Woke up maybe 2-3 times, if I remember correctly. Peed, and then I woke up by myself at like 3:45. Kind of just laid there. Couldn't really go back to bed. Just sleep's been rough. That's been probably the roughest part of this prep. But is what it is. What I'll typically try to do anyway is get up around the same time every day, regardless if I slept good or not. And then if I could sneak a nap in later, especially with today not being a regular day of work, I can probably get a little bit of a nap in later. So we're gonna go check the body weight. I had a carb up day Friday that put a couple pounds on me, which is fine. Which is refeed days now look like just more of the carbs I have. So like some more potatoes, a lot more rice. So I had that Friday, put me at 183 point something. So or Saturday morning. So I'm curious what I'm gonna go weigh right now. Let's go check. Let's see what I weigh. My guess would be right around 181.4. Is my guess. Close. 181.2 on that scale. And 181.2 on the other scale. So 181.2. Figure that's what I'd be about after the refeed. And then next week, I would imagine I'm going to drop into the 170s, which is terrifying, but I haven't been that light in a while. So is what it is. Let's go to the gym. We're going to train some upper and then do some cardio. And this is the gym, Be Better Barbell Club. I own it with Jacob Ross. Little hole in the wall. Everything you really need, equipment wise, nothing crazy. And we got the monolift, obviously. You got the belt squats, you got the low back machines, leg extensions, cables, pull downs, chest press. Bunch of bars, Mars bars, multi-grip bars, buffalo bars, pendulum squat, leg curl, leg press, squat rack, combo rack, some calves, deadlift platform, bands, belts, Pioneer of course, reverse hyper, dumbbells, office, and then upstairs there's some cardio. So our little hole in the wall. Love this place. Nice and quiet here in the mornings, especially because I got to do some posing. So should be a solo session. Should be good. Let's go. Start out a little light pressing. So a lot of times, I'll do a lot of supersets. Kind of feels better. Get the workout done a little bit quicker, maybe, and just keep moving. Today, I think I'm just going to focus one exercise at a time. About 60-second rest in between. And even lately, it's been just can you? Oops, I better put my watch on. No, let them know I'm working out, otherwise it doesn't count, right? Can I just get through 40 minutes of working out, 30 minutes of working out? It's been exhausting. I'm just tired all the time. I feel like I'm always complaining, but I'm just tired. I have no energy. I'm 20 days out, so it's expected, but it's like something you just can't get used to. So sometimes you're just like, give me body give me 30 minutes to train. Train as hard as I can for 30 minutes with the energy that I don't have, and then be done for the day. So yeah, it's just very depleting. One thing that's been kind of been helping is I'll push my meals off a little bit later. I'll start eating around 9 or 10 every day instead of eating at 6 or 7, which maybe for bodybuilding it's not the best, right? You kind of want to eat every 4 hours, but I've been getting so hungry at night. It just one, I'm aggravated, and 2, I can't sleep. So stacking the meals a little bit closer at night, and I wouldn't call it fasting in the morning. I mean, I just don't eat for the first 4 or 5 hours of my day. It just helps me because usually I'm pretty busy in the mornings. It'll help me just not really think about the food. And then once I start my food, I can have it every 3 hours and get my meals little. Then my last meal, sometimes I have it like hour and a half after dinner is my 5th meal. And that seems to be helping just feeling full when I go to bed so I can get a little bit more sleep in. And then this past week I've noticed in the mornings I have a little bit more energy to train. So I might transition to AM workouts just for the fact that after I get off work at 2, 3 o'clock, I'm just tired. I went to train hamstrings last Tuesday and I worked out for like 23 minutes and I'm just nothing's there. So I might switch to mornings. There's usually a good group of guys here at 5 throughout the work week that are pretty cool. And it's, just to be around the environment. So that might help, just not really as a push, but just for energy-wise, to have a little bit better of the workouts. These actually feel pretty good this morning. I'm gonna live here for a couple more minutes. Like I said, I'm just gonna do one exercise at a time, focus on it, get my 3 to 4 sets in, move on. 3 to 4 sets in, move on. 3 to 4 sets in, move on. Little chest and, was it arms today? Shoulders still been bugging me a little bit from the initial tear back in November. Bench is going better. I benched 225 for sets of 8 super controlled negatives last week. But then, just being at work and odd positions and stuff, I could tweak it pretty easily. So it's just been a constant battle with that. So I got to be real careful with kind of how I'm training, because even when I'm posing sometimes too, it's like I could feel it in that shoulder. And I really want to lock in posing now that I'm 20 days out. I don't want to put all this work in and then I go on stage and I'm shaking or my posing looks like shit. I mean, I imagine there'll be some improvement for sure, but I don't want to leave that stone unturned where I'm not posing enough or my shoulder's killing me from posing. So I've just been kind of having to baby it a little bit more than I'd like. Oh, I felt pretty good. Oh, wow. That chest press really fatigued me. I wasn't expecting that. Usually that was going to be a warm-up, but I think I'm going to stay at that weight right now. And as you can tell from my outfit, I'm cold. I'm always cold lately. I had a DEXA scan and it said I was about 6.8% body fat. So being that slow in body fat, I'm just fucking cold all the time. So that really sucks. Usually the gym here, we keep it about 63 and it's like freezing for me. My hands are cold. I can't really catch up much of a pump. So I'll come in and turn it up like 5 degrees just for like the 30 minutes I train and then turn it off because I'm cheap. Any of the other members, they don't like it. Even at 63, some of them say it's too hot in here because the heater kind of blows in your face. So 63, when you're a normal person, actually feels pretty good in here. When you're me right now, it's cold. So it's tough for me to be uncovered when I train because I don't want to be chilled. So as soon as I can kind of catch a pump, I'll shed some layers, but I've just been freezing lately. Yeah, it's been, especially at work. For those of you know, I'm a lineman, so I work outside every day. It's been 2 pairs of long underwear every day. Jeans, obviously, long socks, boots, of course. But then I usually wear 4 long sleeve shirts, and then a hoodie, and then typically a hoodie on top of my hoodie. And that's when it's 45 degrees out. And normally it would be just a hoodie and a long sleeve and some pants and maybe some long underwear. But I'm just freezing, man. So that's been the biggest, that and the not sleeping has been the biggest thing I wasn't expecting, right? Not being able to sleep and then this fucking cold, I just didn't expect it. That and then just the low energy. My body's just in survival mode, so everything just kind of sucks. But yeah, I didn't think this prep was going to be this difficult, and I feel like I'm kind of whining a lot, but I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. Maybe somebody's going to be watching this in a couple years and going through their prep and be like, oh, fuck, it is actually kind of hard, you know. Not that I didn't think it was going to be hard, but just some of these challenges I just didn't expect to happen. That's all. Oh. Yeah, I remember talking to my wife about it before we started prep, and there's a lot of heated discussions about she was worried how this is going to change me. It wasn't going to be that fun, blah, blah, blah. I assured her everything's going to be fine. Nothing's going to change. I'll just be dieting, no big deal. Well, I was wrong. She was right. It's just so much has changed, and I didn't think it was going to be this different. You know, just the no energy. I'm not as fun as a dad for sure. I know that. Not as fun as a husband. Obviously, you don't realize how many things are just surrounded by food too, right? Like going to new restaurants, having drinks, going out, birthday parties. Like, doesn't really bother me, the food thing. It more bothers her because it's just odd that I'm always just bringing my food everywhere when it's just me and her. When we do double dates or group settings, it's not a big deal, especially if we're at a restaurant. But just everything's surrounded by food, and it's just you kind of miss out on all those moments, and it's just I just didn't expect. I guess I just didn't expect the low energy from all this, and like the body really being in survival mode. I thought I could kind of just caffeinate my way out of it, which I have been doing pretty much, but you know, it just is what it is. When I'm tired, I'm tired. Another thing is just like everything feels heavy most days, you know, like sometimes just picking up your feet feels heavy. These 50s, pull them off the rack, feel heavy. The workouts aren't crazy, you know, it's just kind of come in, get moving, get a little bit of stimulus, a little bit of breakdown, and then, you know, move on. It's nothing too exciting, you know, I'll probably do 3-4 exercises here. I'll do 3-4 arm exercises, I'll pump outside at the end, and then I'm done. Which the shorter workouts have been nice, don't get me wrong, it's just I'm used to clanging and banging and lifting heavy weights, and you know, it's being this close to the show too, there's a lot that you can do to screw this up and not a lot you could do to look better, right? If I just stick to the diet, stick to the training, I'll be solid. And if I try to reinvent the wheel right now, I could mess a lot of things up. Just like in powerlifting prep, everybody wants to kind of last minute, what if I change this or do this? It's like, you already put in the 12 weeks, or what do you want to call it, 12 weeks of prep, the 2 years of training. Like, all the stuff you've done in the past is leading up to the moment. The last 2-3 weeks of your powerlifting prep, similar to bodybuilding, like, there's some things diet-wise I could change for sure, but like as far as in the gym, you can mess a lot of things up as opposed to making them better. And that's why I tell, like, even we have a buddy, Adam, that's competing next weekend. He's just like kind of in his head about the weights. And it's just like, dude, you hitting a bigger number tonight, 2 weeks out or a week out or 10 days out could affect your meet day. And it's only really going to benefit you mentally, and it's not going to benefit you physically. And there's something to be said mentally to benefit you, but when you have a good team around you, good people around you, good coach around you, you don't really need that weight on your back that close to a meet. You need it on the day of, right? Everything's trained to be good on that day, so you kind of just got to remember that, and that kind of helps with that little bit of a team atmosphere. Bodybuilding can be kind of solo, but having a good coach like I do helps bounce ideas off of, and people around you during prep. And even like, you know, being distracted during prep. Like, I had a neighbor, went to his house last night. He's like, yeah, we're having cake and stuff. He goes, I know you probably don't want to come over. And it's just like, no, I'll come. The food stuff doesn't really bother me. It's my choice. And it's like, it's a good distraction, right? Bullshit talk. Most of them want to talk about your prep and how's it going. And like I said, lately I know I've been kind of bitching, but I'm just like being honest. It sucks. Don't ever do it. Like, it's just not very fun. I'm just tired. And I'm just trying to be brutally honest with people and honest on here. And hopefully I try to be more relatable. You meet a lot of people, you know, at conventions and Arnold's and stuff in the past when I would go to those, and everybody's a lot cooler online and everything's tough and they're badasses, and then, you know, you meet them in real life and it's a letdown. So I try to be just as honest as I can be here, if it's recording or not, you know. Let's try to shed some layers. We're going to switch to little arms. It's weird wearing these shirts that I was wearing when I was like 230. This is a 2XL, but it's a small 2X. It's more like a 1X, but I'm just, I'm swimming and everything, as you could tell. I'm down 54, 54 pounds now. It's a 236, so 181.2, 54.4 pounds. So yeah, everything, and I'm too cheap to buy new clothes, so I just usually look for the larges that are left over in my closet from when I was smaller, and then I'm not buying a new wardrobe for this prep. It's just not for me. I'm too cheap. And knowing I'll be, when this is over, I'll go back into the 200s. I think that's where I looked. Still looked good, performed well, had energy. Seems like a pretty healthy body weight for me being 5'6", 5'7". Probably walk around, maybe do another DEXA scan in the off season. Probably just try to walk around 12%. I think that would be a healthy weight, and I'd still be able to just kind of be me. So. Usually start my mornings off with coffee. These early training sessions have been definitely a C4. Today, like being on a Sunday, nice, I got my training in early. And then I'll go home, start having my coffee, get in my office, do my client training, talk to my busy dads, get them set for the week, get all my clients ready for the week, and then kind of just a little bit stimulated all day long, sipping on C4 now, coffee for the rest of the morning, come back here, train a client, go back home, diet pops, that kind of stuff. So it's just anything I can have that's like 0 calories, or maybe the thing's 5 calories. I was worrying about that actually months ago. It's like, oh no, this drink's 5 calories, I can't have it. Now it's like, yeah, I think I'll be all right. I'll take a couple more steps. Like instead of 10,000 steps, I'll do 11,000 because I want a 5-calorie drink, I'm kind of starting to relax on that a little bit. Like that's 10 calories. I'll be fine. It's funny where your head goes. Warm enough to where I'm not going to be chilled if I go down to a training tank top. We'll see. Yep, a little bit of chills. God, so fucking cold. Yeah, that's the part that definitely really sucks. It's being freaking cold all the time. I used to always be the guy just, 45, 50 degrees out, I'd be in a cutoff, jeans, fine. I didn't have to be like, pretend to be tough and be warm, like, that was fine, it's not a big deal. Now I'm the coldest dad at pickup, most covered up, guy at work with the most clothes on I used to make fun of. No, that's what I get. Giving guys shit for wearing overalls and stuff when it's 50 degrees out. And now I'm freezing all the time. So comes full circle, you know. I'm definitely looking forward to a little bit of, call it a reprieve after this first show. First one is going to be April 12th in Marionette Park, Mid-Illinois. Nice thing is bodybuilding is like first. So like the night show's at 3. I'd imagine everybody's going to do some routines, right? The posing till 4. And then I would imagine I'll be done by 4:30, 5 o'clock, being one of the first ones on stage. And then I can go get some food with my family. My kids will probably be at that one, which would be cool. Maybe. I don't know what they're going to think about this, being 7 and 6 and 6. But just me to have dinner, have a little bit of normal life that night. And even that Sunday, I told my coach, I'm like, I'm not dieting on Sunday. I mean, I won't go crazy. I told my wife I just want like steak and eggs for breakfast, you know. I want some steak and eggs. I want to have a salad at lunch. I haven't had salad in a long time, as weird as that sounds. My wife makes some bomb-ass salads. And then for dinner, maybe I'll have some pizza or something. Like, I don't want to go crazy because I do have a show 4 weeks from then, but I need, like, I could just tell, like, I need a little bit of break. I was cooking for the girls the other day, making, like, chicken tenders and pasta and pizza. And I'm just, like, staring at it like, this is tough. This is tough. Workout's already going to wind down. Did all my movements. Now this last set is going to be 100 reps. It's supposed to be a close grip bench press, but my shoulder's just not, I don't want it in a fixed motion, fixed on that bar. So I'm just going to do dumbbells, 100 reps, maybe 2 sets of 50. Oh, it's 50. Oh, 75. Seven, 8, 9, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The worst part is trying to count to 100. And then we're going to superset with some overhead tricep. Or not superset, really, just the next set. Next set of 100, I should say. 40. And I'll throw in a little biceps too, because why not? Ugh. Sheesh. All right. Almost done. Ugh. 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 Okay, I think that's good. Now, moment of truth, some posing. And this place has the best lighting. I'm trying to do some posing in one of my guest rooms. Is just, I get so washed out. It makes me second guess a lot of things. So I try to pose here if I can. I just, it is an open gym to the public. So I try to get in, get out. We don't have a ton of members. We have like 50. Most of them don't come this early, especially on a Sunday. So hopefully nobody walks in the door, and I get some about 10 minutes of posing in, and we'll check this pump. So yeah, hopefully nobody walks in. So we're doing trunks and everything today. 20 days out, I gotta make sure I'm dialed in. So let's do some quick ones. Just pose later if I have to, if I feel like I was too rushed. I don't remember to smile. Forget about that part. Look like I'm having fun. We're having a good time. There we go. There's your legs, you idiot. back looks like. Whew. All right, this has been Tom Land lately. Made this coffee bar about a year or so ago, and then actually made it into a coffee bar. It's just kind of like honestly collecting shit. But this is by one of the things that only keeps me going. Always do a full pot of coffee every morning. 2 cups for my wife, big thermos and 1 cup for me. Caffeine and Keel is nice enough to throw me some products, and they donated some stuff to a charity gala we're hosting. So shout out to them. But do a lot of Splenda, about a scoop of Splenda or a tablespoon of Splenda in every coffee. And then my wife just got me these Torani beverage sauces. 0 calories. Everything I have is 0 calorie this, 0 calorie that, mustard this, mustard that, hot sauce, right? 0 calorie everything. Just for some flavor to mix it up. So a little bit of, pump of chocolate and some Splenda, get a little bit of taste, and then just kind of filling my stomach up with fluids as much as I can to try to mitigate that hunger. So coffee bar is definitely essential, especially being 20 days out. The exhaustion, usually fire this thing up. Every morning it's ready to go. Okay, so what we got here, the week's meals. Meal 1, come on, focus. A little chicken, broccoli, and then rice and chicken. Meal 2. Meal 3, turkey, rice, and spinach. I'll add avocado. I'll add some avocado to that second meal. I just do that day of, morning of. And then I get 2 refeeds this week. Planned refeeds with excess carbs of the same thing I'm already eating, except I get potatoes now. So I'll have these 3 meals, which excess potatoes, and then a lot of excess rice. So looking forward to that, trying to keep that full look and not. So I was talking to my coach this morning, just trying to get everything knocked out and prepped right away. And she's like, yeah, you're really, really lean. So being 20 days out, looks like I can afford to have some extra food, which I'm very happy about. I'll take 2 refeeds. So I'll have a refeed Tuesday and then a refeed Friday. No like cheat refeeds, just planned refeed, everything weighed out, everything structured. But this is what it kind of looks like every Sunday morning. I started prepping food at about 7. I did the chicken last night. That makes it easier. When I get home from getting groceries, throw it in a crock pot. Anywhere from 8 to 12 chicken breasts, depending on if I have some left over from the week before. Usually it takes right around like a tray and a half of chicken, roughly, from the store. So that was usually already done, and then about an hour and a half in right now, everything's prepped, and then I just got to do cleanup. And then every meal's ready. besides my first and last meals, which are just like my oatmeals and my bread thing that I bake. So not a huge deal. These ones are the hardest ones to get ready. Not the hardest ones, but most time consuming. The other ones take me like, 5 minutes worth of prep. So all the meals done. I'll be done, cleaned up under 2 hours. So, and this is the day in the life. I've been up since about 3:45. It's about 8:45 now. So 4 hours in, I've gotten up, recorded, right? Because this time takes some time. I trained, I did cardio, I did posing, I worked on my computer, I prepped all my meals, and then I'm about to go train a client, and it's 8:45. So 4 hours into the day, and all my shit's ready for the week. I'm kicking ass already. That's why I don't really believe people say they don't have time. You have time. You just got to get up a little bit earlier or prioritize stuff a little bit better. When you start prepping food, it took me a little while the first time, and then now it's like under 2 hours. I'm in, done, cleaned up, out. So just consistency is key. The rest of the day looks like just training clients. I just got one client rather. I might run to Costco, grab some couple things. I'm like out of tin foil and baggies and stuff. Kind of putz around the house. Kids get back with the wife around 3 o'clock. So I have some time to myself. So I'll probably just run some errands, make sure the house is clean, take them out to dinner. My wife's going out to dinner, so I'll probably treat the kids out, take them to dinner, get some ice cream, stuff like that. Hang out with them, enjoy some time before the week starts. Because tomorrow I got to work 16. So be another busy week. Busy's good though, because it helps me not think about the prep. Just keep moving, head down, go, go, go. So appreciate you guys watching. 20 days out. We're getting there.